Hi everyone, and thank you for sending all your emails and comments about your ahas and your goosebumps. I really appreciate that. I'm Carolyn Moor from the Modern Widows Club, and I am back to share the mentoring opportunity that I talked about last video. And but today I get to share with you a few little tips about that you can just anyone can do that are really going to impact your life. I've used, known these and used these for years, and I hope that you will enjoy learning. Well, the first one is this little tip that I learned to use the tip of my tongue when I would speak at events and I would have to tell my story. Obviously I would get extremely emotional. And the energy from the room when a widow stands in front of to tell her story, there's just a lot of sadness and a lot of just kind of grief in that moment. And there was like this point that I would almost want to start crying. And I've used it when I've had conversations and on dates and just, times that I share my story, but I don't really want to go over the edge and start crying. But I want to get my point across, and I just want to share the information. So here's the point. So you take your tongue, the tip of your tongue, and you actually put it on the roof of your mouth like this. Okay? So what happens is, and I'm not sure, but that moment when you sort of feel that rush, like the tears are, you can feel the heat and the rush of the tears come. If you take the tip of your tongue and you put it on the roof of your mouth just for a second, no one can see you doing it. It's amazing. It sends a message to your brain to stop the physical reaction of you starting to cry. So try that. It has worked brilliantly for me in many circumstances, and so run with it. The second thing I wanted to talk about were these ahas and these deja vu moments, and these moments where, for me, I always see cardinals, right? Cardinals are a very spiritual sign, or I'll hear a song, or I'll, smell something, and it triggers. It's all of these things that are triggering a response in us to remember, the person that we love, but not necessarily like goosebumps. I actually started keeping a journal when I would get a goosebump, not out of fear and not out of being cold, but a goosebump is a moment where your subconscious is bringing something to your attention, right? It's your spirit, your soul is saying, take note of this, okay? So when you have these awakenings and these ahas, it is truly your soul saying, pay attention, okay? So if you'll keep that in mind, just remember that they're there for a reason, and if you sit back and you try to figure out, what was I talking about when that happened? Where was I? Was I walking in nature? What was happening in that moment that brought it to you? Because that is what you need to understand, because that is what you're going to lean more into, okay? So, and the third thing I was going to share with you is about the origin. When I found, I'm a word girl. I love words. I don't use enough big words. One of my favorite words is extemporaneous. It's like how I like to talk to you and to others, just quite naturally. No prompters here, a few notes. But, I looked up the word widow, and I was just kind of, the Hebrew origin of the word means voiceless, and also destitute. And the two words just hurt me so deeply, because I really do understand why I didn't understand in the beginning why I could not think. I couldn't form the words to explain what I was feeling. I felt like I couldn't stand up for myself. And so the word widow truly is actually it means voiceless. It renders you without a voice. So when you work with a mentor, they actually help you. You know, that's what I do, is I truly actually help put the words out there that help us move, you know, decisions and choices forward. And it's such a great honor to be that vessel, to be able to create that ability to communicate. So, you know, the thing about widows is very much where this experience, it feels like being at a disadvantage. And so mentoring truly does, there's that bridge that creates that advantage in this situation. It's such a beautiful thought. And I love that saying, when you know better, when you know better, you do better. Have you heard that before? And I have another layer to that. It says when you learn from someone else who has learned to do better and is doing better, then it makes a huge difference. And it's so true, you know, because what I've done is I've learned a lot of shortcuts in life. I've read a lot of books, I've gone a lot of seminars, I've learned from lots of other widows. Oh my gosh, that works great. You know, go and apply it to my life. And I found out that, in fact, great input. So anyway, so the next video I'm going to send you is again in 2 more days, and I am going to share with you how does mentoring actually create transformation? What's happening in your brain, in your heart? What's happening mentally, physically, psychologically, spiritually? What's happening when you're actually in that mentoring to 2 people working on one solution? And it's really powerful, because I have seen it happen many times, and it's phenomenal. So I will see you again in 2 days, and if you want to, you can send me any questions or any concerns that you have about mentoring, because I know that, you know, for me, I just thought, you know, I'm not sure, would this work for me? And I would love to have that conversation with you. So I will see you.